Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of Food Exposed. In today's video we're looking at mayonnaise. Only last week I've done a video on eggs exposed and I have received some shocking information which I'm going to include towards the end of this video, which is actually relevant to the mayonnaise production. So first of all, mayonnaise, it is very straightforward, or technically it should be. It only consists of the egg yolk, is emulsifier, some vinegar, oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and mustard if you want to. But you probably be aware that there are tons and tons of brands of the mayonnaise available on our supermarket shelves, and they do contain quite a lot of ingredients that shouldn't be there or we don't want to be in there. So now we're going to be diving in a little bit deeper so we all understand what actually goes in the process of making our mayonnaise. So first of all, it is very important to understand not every single brand of mayonnaise actually uses the fresh eggs. You might think, yes, mayonnaise, it should be made with the fresh eggs, but this is apparently not the case. There are some brands there that actually rely on powdered egg yolks to make your mayonnaise. And unfortunately, as I understand, a lot of powdered eggs actually gets imported from different countries. We already know that the food standard legislations on food safety are totally different in many countries, and our eggs do come from few, but the biggest of which being China. They're apparently the biggest exporter of the powdered eggs. So yes, there are apparently some companies that they resort to using the powdered eggs in your mayonnaise, but they don't necessarily have to mention this on the label. So secondly, apparently there have been some findings and some research that certain companies actually buy broken eggs to make into the mayonnaise. This is something I believe that should have been frowned upon, because once the eggshell is broken, it kind of opens the egg to the contamination, the kind of thing. But as long as they're apparently pasteurized thereafter, that is kind of becomes acceptable to be used in the mayonnaise. But we will come back to this one towards the end of the video. So next thing, right, the mayonnaise consists of the 80% of oil. So technically you use the egg yolk and you emulsify the oil with a little bit of the vinegar, which creates a lovely rich texture and a color. But as we all know, guys, there are a lot of companies now, and it only takes you have a look at the back of the mayonnaise, use the cheap oils. You either have a soy oil, rapeseed or canola oil. The canola oil is actually a specific type of the rapeseed oil. Again, there's tons and tons of research to say that all those seed oils are not particularly that good to our health, and in fact could be very inflammatory. Although apparently there have been some refining processes to make those oils better for our health, nonetheless the research still shows that consuming those oils in larger quantity, it is not good. And as we know, they do add on those seed oils in pretty much a lot of products currently, because it's much cheaper than using any other oil. And of course, guys, because of the process the mayonnaise have to go through, especially if they're using the powdered egg yolks, it takes away the texture and the flavor. So of course, they have to add on a lot of things and preservatives to our mayonnaise. And again, doing the research, a few things there, okay? And again, just have a look on the back of a label. They do vary drastically to what they put in there, what they add on to the mayonnaise. So first of all, we have on the list is a sodium benzoate, okay, which is under certain conditions, especially with the presence of vitamin C, it can form benzene, also known as carcinogen, okay, and it also triggers allergic reaction in sensitive individuals. Then we've got things like potassium sorbate, so generally considered safe, but in a high concentration, it could cause the gastrointestinal irritation and sensitivity in some other people. I totally understand those quantities are technically should be small, not large quantities, but again, because they're not mentioning the amount of them on the labels, I don't know. So next thing on the list, we've got the calcium disodium, which is something that is effective against the preventing oxidization. So again, they'll be using that as an additive, so I suppose it doesn't change color. The only thing is, and then it binds the essential minerals in the body, potentially interfering with the nutritional absorption in our bodies. They use synthetic emulsifiers. Again, there's a lot of studies to show that they could disrupt your gut health. They've got some artificial flavors and synthetic antioxidants. So yes, there's quite a few things that actually get added on to the mayonnaise. And another thing that really makes me worry, with all those things they're adding on, trying to make the mayonnaise a little bit more true to the natural mayonnaise, the color of mayonnaise that you buy is actually just plainly white, or a little bit of sort of almost not say greeny color, but just it's kind of a white nature. However, if you made your own mayonnaise, because if you take an egg yolk and mix it with the oil, it will have a slightly yellow hue, which commercial mayonnaises seem to not. So again, makes me wonder what on earth they do it to them. So next thing, we're talking about the free range. I'm sure you've seen certain brands claiming that they use a free range eggs. And apparently research have found that, yes, the claims are there, but it's very little evidence to support or actually ability to support that those brands actually buy their eggs from the free range farms. At the same time as well, if you watched my video on the eggs exposed, the free range really only indicates that the chickens are heavily densely populated in the barn and they have an ability to go outside. But again, as the research found in many places, that unfortunately chickens don't even get to see outside. They don't go outside because for many reasons, including things like they're overly populated inside. They can't even see their way out to go outside, or the outside area is so very small because by law there is no specific area or size of the area to guarantee or name of the free range. So as long as chicken has the access to the outside, the eggs are counted as a free range. And then of course guys, we're going to be talking about the processing aids. Yet again, unfortunately, the processing aids come pretty much in every food, and because they do count as a processing aids, they do not have to be mentioned on the label. So processing aids, right? I found that actually very difficult to find every single direct specific processing aids that actually used in mayonnaise. But there is something tells me after reading sort of a few articles that the industry, is a little bit iffy, and they do kind of hide certain things when it comes to the generally processed as well as, what they add on to it. But they use some enzymes, they add on enzymes as a processing aid, which is okay, fine. It improves the emulsification and the consistency. They use some clarifying agents, okay, so trying to remove the impurities from the eggs. So I'm not really sure what this is. Again, I can't find anything that tell me what the clarifier would be. I don't really know, can't even imagine how would you clarify an egg because of this consistency. They use the filtration aids, substances like diatomaceous earth, which is kind of natural. I add diatomaceous earth to my chicken dust bath because of its properties, but it is technically a food grade and food safe. You've got some pH regulators and the anti-foaming agents. Again, none of those things do have to be mentioned on the label because they are very minor quantities, or in fact totally get eradicated from the final product, so thus do not have to be mentioned. But again, we already covered the processing aids in the other products, and we found that some people could be allergic to specific parts, and unfortunately, unless they have to declare them on the labels, then you won't know. And another thing, guys, obviously, because they don't have to put those things on labels, and the reason apparently why they don't have to put so much of this on the labels, so me and you as a consumer don't get confused by looking at too many ingredients. Well, yeah, let's just not have them there in the first place. Anyway, so, and the last thing, guys, we're coming back to the last bit I told you we're going to be talking about. And again, I am really hoping this is just an isolated case because I think it's really disgusting. But anyway, one of my viewers made a comment on my the last egg video, and apparently he used to work in the, I think he said, egg packing factory. So where they, I suppose they collect the eggs and put them in the boxes, that kind of thing. And there was a conveyor belt. I assume again you going through the sizes, that kind of thing. And as you do in the packing factories, you do, I don't know, millions of eggs, right? Depending on the size of the factory, but there is millions of eggs that go through the factory on a daily basis. And of course it happens, you get some dirty eggs, the eggs that get cracked, the eggs that get, cracked on the floor, fall over the floor. And apparently there was a running bucket that was on the floor, so if there's any broken eggs, dirty eggs, they get chucked into the bucket. And apparently one of the days there was a rodent stuck into the processing machine, and the manager apparently been called to sort the issue. So apparently remains been scooped and been put in the same bucket, which I assume everybody would think, well, this bucket is just going to be going in the bin. And apparently when the chappie asked in the end, so what actually happens with that, he's been told that this is going to be going through a specific process of clearing the debris and shells, that kind of thing, separating the eggs from everything else, going through the pasteurization, and then sold to the companies to make mayonnaise and cakes. So that is, I think, is absolutely vile. And again, I really do hope that the people there that work in those places do have some due diligence to the process that they're making. But again, strict controls in the main scale, yes. Before you even get to purchase that kind of thing, you won't know. It's just, to me, that was absolutely baffling. But to be frank, I used to buy eggs sometimes during the winter where my girls don't lay eggs. But now, after hearing this, I'm certainly will not be doing that. I'm not saying this has happened, and this is why I kept this to the end, because it could be just generally an isolated case that just happens once. But again, As I said, I put this to the end because obviously I can't vouch for that. It's just something I've been told, somebody witnessed that, but nonetheless, chances are it probably has happened. So there we are. Anyway, guys, well, hopefully you have found this video helpful. Please don't forget, again, as usual, thumbs up, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.